Jonathan, you've been talking to outgoing senators, doing what we call exit interviews as they say goodbye, and some of them are a lot more open on the way out than they've been while they're in the Red Chamber. Yes, which is sort of the point of an exit interview. You sort of, it allows them, I mean, they often do it in their valedictory speeches. They sort of let loose a little bit, some more than others. Mark Bishop, the Labor senator, says that he thinks Bill Shorten's got it wrong, that he should pass the entire Abbott budget. Not for noble reasons, for political reasons. He thinks, you know, let everyone kind of sort of experience the apocalypse and, you know, then they will never vote for... Then they'll come rushing back to Labor. Exactly, so that's the strategy there. Ron Boswell, I understand we've got a package of him later, but Alan Eggleston had some concerns about the social justice in the budget. He said, you know, we've got to be careful that we don't chip away at the safety net. And he said John Howard always understood that, you know, if you chip away too much, you do run the risk of increasing crime rates. So that's what he had to say there. He had a few cautionary notes there. Yeah, he's a Liberal senator, and Liberal Senator Sue Boyce also had a bit to say. Let's have a listen to a bit of her farewell speech.
In the past few months, I've been asked numerous times if, as a moderate and a feminist, I'm concerned about our party's perceived move to the right. Yes, I am concerned, but I'm also hopeful. I also expect that pragmatism will ultimately triumph. Australians will continue to elect governments of the centre-right, hopefully less often of the centre-left, so any general move too far to the right would make us unelectable.
So a bit of a message there for her colleagues, but she went even further, I think, in her interview with you. Yes, she did. She said that Scott Morrison, well, the coalition, had been dog whistling on asylum seekers, and she said that she refuses to use the phrase illegal maritime arrivals. However, she then admits that she doesn't actually have a solution to the moral conundrum, and yes, all these people have stopped dying at sea. So it was a heavily qualified statement. She said Julia Gillard, her misogyny speech, she used the wrong word to describe Mr Abbott. She should have used the word sexist, and then again, when pushed on that, she didn't actually say any specific instances of sexism. She said he's one of many subtle sexists in Parliament, and then she actually said he listens to women more than some of the other men, and she had a bit of a crack at the old Nationals, who she said like their slippers handed to them by their wives. And which sort of fits in. You mentioned the Liberal Senator Alan Eggleston before. I think there was a quote in one of her interviews where he described Tony Abbott as a saga in progress. Yeah,
I think it's fair to say about Sue Boyce that she had little impact on society before she went into Parliament, and will have a little impact after she leaves. She's only gets publicity when she criticises her own party. It's a pretty cheap shot.
Well, that's very generous of you, Jared. I mean,
I think it's true, isn't it?
No, but I mean, the point is, she crossed the floor 3 times during her career. Now, you can sort of look at that as only getting publicity when you counter your other side. I mean, a lot of people in the Senate are leaving having made no impact whatsoever. But the point is, I think she comes across as somebody who has, you know, worked things out for herself, worked out where her party stands, in general has tried to be supportive of her party, but has done so up to the broad church definition that Tony Abbott and John Howard have always given.
The interview with Jonathan Swan is very contradictory, as you yourself said. She says this and she says that on at least 2 issues.
Which I guess
she ends up saying Tony Abbott is sexist, but even people like Louise Adler, who know him very well, who is on the left, say this is not true.
Yes, but let's not get too distracted here. I think
cheap shots. I'm not getting distracted. This is the topic.
No. I mean, the broader point that Jonathan was making was that within these interviews there were contradictory positions, which I guess is the wrangle of any individual in a party room, that they have personal views and they have party views, and that sometimes never the twain shall meet, but they try and work hard at it. That's the Sunday Papers.